Alright folks, it's Jake from Wani and I am here with Markus Vanhala from OMNIUM GATHERUM. We're here to talk about the upcoming Australian tour. Markus, how are you going?
Hello, just packing here my stuff and leaving to tour for a few hours, so last minute at home. And like I promised you last time we spoke in some interview, I promised you that OMNIUM GATHERUM will come to Australia with this new release, so redeeming the promises now, right?
You did, yeah. That was August last year, and it's great that OMNIUM GATHERUM is finally making, I guess, what I would call their long-awaited debut on Australian shores. So it's been something that's been requested by a lot of fans for a very long time now, and I know that you personally have made it down here before with INSOMNIUM, but how does it feel to finally be bringing OMNIUM GATHERUM down to Australia?
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this like for years and just waiting for the right moment, and now it seems it is. And that I've been there with INSOMNIUM, I've noticed that there's a quite number of fans for OMNIUM GATHERUM too, so I've been surprised about that in every trip. Like I'm always be like, our music is spread so far away from Finland, even we haven't been there before, so yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
and nice coincidence with the Australia is like back in the day, maybe like 15 years ago when we were releasing the first albums. I remember there was a band called OMNIUM GATHERUM in Australia also. So now we are invading to that band's territory. Yeah. I don't know if that band anymore exists. I haven't heard for years about that Australian OMNIUM GATHERUM, but
yeah, I mean,
I've competitors.
I've got no idea if they're still around, but it is good that you sort of highlighted the earlier years when you were making your first album, because OMNIUM GATHERUM was formed in 1996, and that's 22 years ago. But could you have ever imagined at the age of 15, when you were creating this band, that it might have had the power to have taken you across all corners of the globe?
Well, no. Back in the day when I started playing guitar at the age of 12, I remember my biggest heroes were like Van Halen and Randy Rhoads and stuff like that, Adrian Smith. And of course, back at that time, I wanted to start guitar playing, and I thought that I'm going to be the best guitarist in the world and the biggest guitar hero ever. But then things change when you get to your teenagers, and when we formed OMNIUM GATHERUM, our only goal was to make own music and get to play in our hometown and do a demo cassette. So we walked pretty long way from those first plans of OMNIUM GATHERUM. So yeah, definitely things have raised to a level I would never imagine back in the day.
Yeah, so this is the band's first time in Australia, with a lot of the fans here coming to see you guys for the very first time. Now, are you able to let fans know what to expect from these shows? Are you looking at trying to strike a balance between new and older material on the set list for the tour?
Yeah, of course, this is tour cycle of the Burning Cold album, so we definitely play a lot of new stuff. But like you said, first time in Australia, we really have to rethink the set list, because it's our first presentation of this band in Australia, so we definitely have to play more of the older stuff also. So as always, it's gonna be hard times to combine the whole set for 75 minutes or 90 minutes, whatever we are playing there. I don't know yet, but 8 albums and that amount of time is always hard task to plan.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I know that for this tour there are no meet and greets in Australia, and I believe that's due to time restrictions with the travel associated between each of the cities. But given that meet and greets continue to be a topic of discussion amongst metal acts, what are your thoughts on the whole meet and greet process? Is it something that the band enjoys or tries to do when travelling to new places and wanting to meet new fans, or is it just viewed by the band as something that's necessary as part of being a touring musician?
Well, to be honest, as you know, we are Finnish, and Finnish people are really antisocial, stereotypically way antisocial, so I have to say that meet and greet is usually the promoter's idea and agent's idea, not the band's. But of course it can be cool. It always depends on the people. Sometimes it's like weird when some people are coming to meet and greet and they don't talk anything to the band. They are just like waiting that the band starts to discuss. And basically the band also waits that the fan starts to discuss with the band. So it can be awkward moment, but when their chemistry is right, then it's cool. Like many other things.
Yeah.
But that definitely is a new thing. Like 10 years ago, there was no meet and greets for a band level than us. And now even I just read about Kiss is doing meet and greets, and it was, I don't even remember how expensive the ticket was. That was ridiculous, like $1,000 or $2,000 per meet and greet ticket, which is crazy. But I guess there's demands. That's why bands do them.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, as you mentioned before...
But as you mentioned also, there was supposed to be meet and greets on this Australia run, but because the distances are so far, that's why we basically have to travel all day and night to reach the next destination. So that's why we don't have meet and greets in Australia for now.
That's fair enough. Maybe next time you come down. So now, as you mentioned before, you are touring Australia in support of The Burning Cold, and The Burning Cold came out last year and generated a lot of positive reviews all around, and you even gathered a couple of Best Melodeath Album of the Year nominations for last year. So when writing that album, did you feel like it was going to be as successful as what it was?
Yeah, we had a good feeling in the band that this is going to be a nice one, and we've been touring a lot like past years, so basically growing steadily and building the band on and on. But yeah, we had overall really positive feeling at the rehearsals with the new material, and I believed in it, so that's nice that it's been taken so well in the media and fans.
Yeah. So
of course, when you are writing music, when I'm writing music at home, I barely think anything about this kind of things. Music is a selfish thing. You have to please yourself before you can please any other people.
That's a very good and interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So
that's a honest way.
So now that you have had some time to tour with the new material, how have the fans been interacting with it in a live setting? Really good.
We started from North America, where the album was released. We toured a huge tour with Amorphis and Dark Tranquility and Moonspell, and that was really good. And then we did like our headliner tour in Europe, and that went really well, and the Finnish gigs went well, so it's been all good. Really looking forward to spreading the disease to Asia and Australia also.
Yeah, and you're also stopping over in Dubai on the way over here.
Yeah, it's first time for OG to play in, how can you say, Middle East, Dubai. I've been once there with INSOMNIUM, and it was really great. And visit the desert, and it's completely different world, so it's all good. But we found some metalheads there too.
Yeah, they
and
do.
one destination I'm really looking forward personally on this trip is New Zealand, as I've never been in New Zealand myself at all. So this is also, inside of playing gigs, this is always tourism also for me, visiting new places. And I try to be active and visit as many new places on the road as I can.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, that's actually a really good lead into my next question, because touring is obviously a very core part of a band's schedule, and OMNIUM GATHERUM does tour pretty relentlessly. But a lot of the times that you guys tour, you're often billed as a support act or a co-headlining act. So I guess I want to ask, when touring either in the US or on some of the previous European tours that you've done as a support act, what would you say is the key thing that either yourself or the band has learnt from the other bands that you've performed with?
Of course, you learn good and bad things from another band. So you definitely can reflect how they do their business and how the management works on the road. So you learn about their mistakes and learn about their good things. So it's a learning process then, as everything else in life also, the touring. When we did our first real long European tour over 10 years ago. We were supporting Nile and we didn't know anything about anything, so we just went there and it was a crazy trip and we learned a lot during that trip, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But now it's finally OG have rose to a level that we can play headline shows basically all around the world, which is really cool. Finally, because we've been doing this so long, but it's always going upwards, which is great because many bands in Finland got this overnight success with first albums and then went down, but we never got that overnight success, but it took really long for us to build.
Yeah.
But at least we've been doing this honest way, our way.
Well,
Frank Sinatra way, my way.
That's the main thing. Now, there was some sad news coming out of the Omnium Gatherum camp yesterday that longtime bassist Erkki has decided to step away from the band. Now, surely that decision must have been hard on the band, knowing that you have such a big tour coming up.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, so we basically knew this thing coming already months ago, and Erkki had been forced to miss like many tours past years because he's like a mercenary in music. He's having a lot of different kind of music business things also going, like a big production of metal Christmas songs in Finland and all kinds of weird stuff. So he's basically, like I said, musical mercenary. He just went to more bigger music business things than Omnium Gatherum are, because we are still playing death metal, which isn't actually like exactly a big business, if you understand.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Of course, it's always sad to see people coming and going, but especially bassist plays in Omnium Gatherum, it starts to look like a Spinal Tap drummers. I think do we have 5 or 6 different bass players already? So it's a windy place.
Yeah, there certainly has been a few.
Yeah, playing in a worldwide touring metal band, death metal band, that makes life weird sometimes, and it's not an easy task, and it definitely isn't place for most of the people. So you have to be a little crazy and a little punk rocker to do this.
Yeah.
So I don't claim Erkki to decide go the more easier way.
Now, Markus, I've got one final question for you, and this is more directed to you yourself, because you are a very busy man, and in amongst touring with Omnium Gatherum, you also tour with INSOMNIUM, and you've recently been spending some time in the studio writing the new INSOMNIUM album. So is it difficult juggling such a busy schedule between the two bands, and is there any information you can give us on the direction of that new INSOMNIUM album?
Like I said, I'm a crazy punk rocker. That's why I'm busy, and I still love doing this, and I love to keep myself busy with metal duties. And I just got my guitars recorded right before I'm leaving to this tour, and so the album is starting to be in really good shape, and it will be released in September or October, I think. And then we're gonna start the touring cycle with INSOMNIUM again. Now it's good for me because with the previous albums, both for INSOMNIUM and Omnium Gatherum, both albums we just gave, and Grey Heavens was released in same year, 2016, and the touring cycles got me mad. Like I was playing like 200 gigs per year for like a two-year gap. So now it's a little bit easier now, having releases different years, and the bands are again on the different cycles. So means Omnium Gatherum is touring now and INSOMNIUM is in the studio, and then vice versa in coming years. But this was what I always asked when I was kid. I always wanted to play heavy metal and play concerts all around the world, and here I am. I don't complain.
Well, that's the best way to look at it then, isn't it? Markus, thank you so much for your time.
This is the only work I can do.
Markus,
Yeah.
thank you
Cool.
so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you when you come down here in the next couple of weeks after you've done your Arab Emirates and the Asian tour.
Yeah. We'll see you there down under soon again.